It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, May 21st. The best that can be said of Tuesday, I think, of course, is at least it's not Monday, so we needn't go through that again. So at least we have that going for us. Now we're square in the work week. Well, it should be a nice day weather-wise, according to Rob Carroll, kind of nice. So maybe when I get home, I can start thrashing away at that stupid bamboo again behind our house. Only 60 yards left. I did 20 yards of it on Sunday, and maybe I'll just another 60 yards left. Eventually, it'll be done. Or maybe the heck with it. Maybe I'll play some golf. A lot more fun. Well, this is Mornings at 8, the show that would probably rank right near the bottom on the SAT adversity scale. Yet, you know, I feel so out of touch. I'm trying to be modern and contemporary, but try as I will, I can't think of any adversity I'm suffering from. So I guess if I ever try to enroll in a college or university, I'd never make it because I really don't face any adversity. I'll see if I can find some. I must be a victim somehow, somewhere, so I'll just work on it. Okay, let's see. Well, the Game of Thrones. That's right, it's still in the news. Shareholders would have a good case to sue in court. According to, what's his name, Brett Aarons, writing in MarketWatch. As you know, this thing has caused an incredible amount of controversy, apparently all over the planet. People are yelling and screaming, and they've signed a petition online to have HBO redo the entire final season, which is totally out of the question, and it's Looney Tunes. But if you thought that was bad, how about this? This, as I said, this is in MarketWatch by Brett Aarons. He says, no, the final season of Game of Thrones wasn't a disappointment, it was an insult. And this fiasco was, of course, an insult to the tens of millions of fans who had invested so much time and energy in the series over 8 extraordinary years. Now, how much energy is there in watching a show on TV? I mean, you're not really expending a lot of energy. You are expending a lot of time, but not a whole bunch of energy. But in a more tangible sense, it was also an insult to the many more who own stock in HBO's parent company, which is, guess who owns HBO? Any guesses? AT&T. AT&T owns HBO. And if you have money, he says, in a regular U.S. index fund, that includes you. AT&T's management, he goes on, has just needlessly thrown away a prize asset for no good reason whatsoever. Imagine, he says, the Empire State Realty Trust, they own the Empire State, the building in New York, or Tiffany canceling its line of engagement rings to move on. So let's say that they knocked down the Empire State Building before people got tired of it. Or let's say that Tiffany canceled its line of engagement rings. This was like setting fire to a pile of money. He says it's your money. So laziness, incompetence, stupidity, you make the call. This must be the dumbest move since Coca-Cola's new Coke. So what he's suggesting, where is it? Well, at first he says the final episode was terrible, the final season was terrible, and it was really, really bad. They wasted a lot of money, and that's the point. He says the only question that remains now is whether some enterprising limo-chasing lawyer is going to file a class action lawsuit against the company, against AT&T, on behalf of the stockholders. And he says, don't rule it out. Stevenson specifically cited, who was Stevenson? That's right, the spokesman for AT&T. Stevenson specifically cited the value of Game of Thrones when he announced his company's massive $85 billion takeover of HBO's parent company, Time Warner. Time Warner owns HBO, and AT&T owns the whole show. So he says this would work, a class action lawsuit, because he says that they've thrown away a fortune. According to his take on this entire series, the series could have continued for years and years and years and made bushels of money, more money than it already made. So if you're a stockholder in AT&T, he says, you've lost a lot of money. So I don't know how many people own stock in AT&T. I have no, I know, I don't have any, but you could join a class action lawsuit, assuming that some really aggressive limo chasing lawyer started it. That's amazing. I mean, how many? Can you imagine a company being sued for canceling a TV show? I mean, as popular as Game of Thrones was, I mean, if you cancel a show and you're liable to be sued. Wow, I think that's really incredible. So that's this guy's idea. He says if you were a really enterprising lawyer, you could start a class action lawsuit against AT&T, and imagine how much money they have. That's kind of interesting. Well, talking about interesting things here, there are a few bills in Albany that I think are worth mentioning. And here's one. Where did I get this? A New York Daily News. The Assembly passes a bill banning untraceable DIY firearms known as ghost guns, a ghost gun. And I'm all for the Second Amendment. I mean, I am so pro-Second Amendment, I can't tell you. Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Right, very, very important. Really important. But these guns, these ghost guns, they're made of plastic. The State Assembly passed legislation yesterday on Monday that would bar homemade untraceable weapons often made with plastic parts manufactured by a 3D printer. Now, I'm not quite sure how a 3D printer works. I've never seen one, but apparently you can, I don't know how it works. Technology is an amazing thing, but you can actually make things of three-dimensional object that you could hold in your hand on your printer, a 3D printer. As I said, I have no idea how this works, but apparently it works, and people use it. Now, who said this? Let me see. Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie, the Democrat from the Bronx. He says, as rates of gun violence increase across the country, New York continues to lead the way in prevention by passing common sense gun safety legislation. Some of it, I think, is not so common sense, but this one is. He says, this bill demonstrates our commitment to helping our kids safe through thoughtful and comprehensive legislation. The bill, which was passed by the Senate last week, would make it illegal to manufacture, sell, or transport firearms or parts that can't be detected by an X-ray machine. So these guns are plastic. You can make them at home. There is no serial number on them. They can't be traced. And you can crank them out at home on a 3D printer, which I think would not be an awfully good idea. Another sponsor of the bill, Tom Abenati from Westchester, a Democrat, he says our gun laws must be updated to take into account the ever-evolving capabilities of the digital age. Today's technologies allow anyone to make component parts for firearms with materials that can't be detected by security machines, such as an X-ray machine. It won't pick up anything made of plastic, right? The bill passed Monday, and it was amended after issues were raised about the initial language, which was overly broad and would have essentially banned any firearm that contained even a single piece of plastic. So the bill now heads to the governor, who will review the amended legislation. Yeah, I think a gun made out of plastic is not so hot an idea. We have enough trouble with guns as they are. Although, as I said, I'm really pro-Second Amendment. I mean, believe me, absolutely. But I think plastic guns would not be such a good idea. And speaking of the Second Amendment, it is kind of interesting to note that the First Amendment, in the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment does not deal with guns. It's the Second Amendment. The First Amendment deals with, freedom of speech. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That was Amendment number 1. The right to bear arms was Amendment number 2. So the very, very first one was religion. And then came free speech. And then free press. So as important as the Second Amendment was and is, it's the Second Amendment, not the First. So I think that is a very, very, very good law. Plastic guns are a bad idea. And with technology being the way it is, yeah, I think that's a good law. Plus, I'm a member of the NRA, by the way. Okay, so, I think that the Second Amendment is really important, but plastic guns are not a good idea. And here's another bill that is in the Senate. New York. This is from ABC in New York, WABC. Texting while walking isn't only dangerous, but it could soon be a crime in New York. Texting while walking. A new bill introduced by the state Senate would make it illegal for people to cross streets with their eyes glued to their smartphone. These days, it's very common to see eyes on cell phone screens no matter where you are. I could use it all day long, one person said. But what if using your electronic device means you could be fined when crossing the road? Have you driven in Alfred recently, in the last couple of years? You're driving to the village of Alfred, and I'm not picking on kids, adults too. I mean, everybody's doing this. But you're driving down the street, yeah, right, and the guy's looking at his phone, he's going like this. They're not looking at you. I mean, they're looking at their phones. Now, if you want to walk on the sidewalk and use your phone, fine, good luck. But crossing a street is not such a hot idea. And as I said, driving through Alfred, you've got to drive like 10 miles an hour or 5. And these people will walk smack in front of you. They're just not looking at you. As I said, not picking on kids. They're perfectly fine. But you got to look what you're doing, So this would make it a fine to cross the street while looking at your little phone there and whatever you're doing on the phone. So where were we? Can't read that. That's dumb. While there's no clear evidence, this article goes on from ABC, there's no clear evidence that personal electronic devices used on the streets cause traffic accidents. State lawmakers are considering the use of messaging or playing games just on the streets, where the fines could range from $50 to $150, depending on the number of offenses. This is a bill. Who's this now? John Liu, senator from Queens. This is a bill, he says, that says, don't text while crossing the street. Wait the 10 seconds to get to the other side. And I know people, I'm sure, that could not wait those 10 seconds. I mean, they got to do it right now. I know a lot of adults, several of our friends. They're always on this little thing, and they're always texting, and they're always doing this and on the net and this and that. These are adults too, So this guy, Senator John Liu, says, yeah, it's a good idea. Just wait the 10 seconds and cross the street and then get on your phone and do whatever you're going to do. Now, similar laws have passed in smaller cities in Hawaii and California. But in New York, there's a lot of people. There are a lot of people here. So how would it be enforced? It would be a statewide law. And depending on the municipality, it could be the local law enforcement or sheriff's deputies or troopers. Imagine getting stopped by a trooper for texting while you're crossing the street. That could get a little unusual. So anyway, that's I don't know. Is that a good law or a bad law? Let me see. From a driver's standpoint, I think it's a pretty good law. Because it'd be a little awkward if you hit a person crossing the street and they were texting, and you would probably be at fault. Now, they might be hurt, but you would be at fault, So maybe it is a good idea. I don't know. But that's Albany, and that's another law that's coming down the pike. And I'm pretty sure that it probably will be signed by the governor, I guess. Now, what else are we dealing with here? Oh, yeah. This is kind of interesting. Millennials, this is from the Money website. Millennials are demanding better job titles. Job titles. and taking pay cuts of up to $10,000 for them. This is, you're right, money. You have to.
You know what my job is over on Fun 92.1?
Okay.
I am the digital song care provider.
Oh, really?
I'm the digital song care provider.
I think that's really impressive. That will look good on the resume. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not. This is amazing. But apparently, millennials would rather a job title than more money. I'm not greedy here, but really, so the title is more important than the money you're making. So they would be willing to be paid less, but have a more impressive sounding job title. And that's what? I don't understand that. But apparently, with the internet and all that, LinkedIn, Facebook, this and that, it sounds good. It looks good, you know, and you would appear to be a lot more important than you really are. So even if it costs you $5,000 or $10,000 in salary, they would rather the title. Tech environments, it says here, tech environments and smaller companies, for example, encourage creativity and are open to job titles that didn't previously exist. For example, AOL, are they still around? America Online? I don't know. AOL once had a much touted digital prophet. A digital prophet. That was a job title at AOL. Well, I don't know. Now, what's your title again, Brian?
Digital song care provider.
Provider, digital prophet. It's in the A. It sounds great. It really does. Yeah. So let me see. Somebody says, I don't remember who it is. Anyway, it says, having a different title can definitely set you up for your long-term career path and for your next job. But if you're presenting or requesting a different title in a negotiation, you need to be prepared with a case and justify why this title is warranted and how it benefits both parties. So what you're negotiating for these days, I guess, if you're of a certain age group, is not more money, but a better title. We used to make jokes about a sanitation engineer, and all that stuff. Well, it's no joke anymore. Apparently, having a good job title is really important. I don't understand it. I have to think of a title for myself. Let me see. Radio talker? No. Let me see. Show host? No, that's no. Brian, what would be a good title for me here? I'm thinking. I don't know. A new job title. I'll have to think.
News and opinion care
provider. I don't know. I got to think of something better than this. Anyway.
Felicitator.
Felicitator. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
Opinion felicitator.
Facilitator.
Facilitator. Excuse me. It's a little early.
Yeah. The facilitator. I don't know.
News.
Anyway,
information.
Yes.
You could be an information facilitator.
An information engineer. That sounds good.
Information engineering.
Information engineering. I like that. That's good. Let me just write that down. Anyway, we are going to take a break, and we will be back.
To golf or seasoned veteran, you'll enjoy the casual, relaxed atmosphere of Vander View Golf Course. 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road, Vander View is a 9-hole executive-length golf course with a driving range on one side of the road and the course on the other. Family-friendly and fun recreation for everyone. Greens fees are one price for unlimited play, $9.50. High school students, only $5. Children 12 and under with an adult, no charge. You can play up to 18 holes or 9 holes with a cart and get the second 9 holes at no additional charge. Ladies and senior golfers who don't hit the long ball, Vander View's got the executive length that's just right for your game. And new this year, a season pass for only $100. That's a lot of golfing fun for a very little bit of money. Vander View Golf Course, 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road. Vander View Golf Course.
From
from the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the NBA playoffs, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals saw the Warriors rally down 17 points in the third quarter to beat the Trailblazers on the road 119-117 in overtime. They win thanks to Steph Curry and Draymond Green, who became the first teammates ever to have a triple-double in the same playoff game. Curry finished with 37 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. Green finished with 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists. Golden State sweeps the series to advance to the NBA Finals for the fifth straight year. They're the first team to do that since the Boston Celtics of the 1960s. Golden State now awaits the winner of the Milwaukee-Toronto series in the NBA Finals. News from the NFL, Washington Redskins linebacker Reuben Foster suffered what is being called a major and significant knee injury in OTAs. It includes a torn ACL. Foster was claimed off waivers by the Redskins after being released by the 49ers after alleged domestic violence incident. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are releasing defensive tackle Gerald McCoy after 9 seasons and 6 Pro Bowls. McCoy was slated to make $13 million this season.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Ford, receive up to $2,500 in Ford trade assistance with your 99 or newer vehicle trade. Now purchase a new 2019 Ford F-150 STX 4x4 Crew Cab equipped with 20-inch alloy wheels and running boards. With Ford Trade Assist and Ford Finance Bonus, they're only $33,999. Shop the Simmons Rockwell Ford dealership near you. Simmons-Rockwell.com.
From the Fox Business Network, the Dress Barn women's clothing chain is closing. Parent company Ascena Retail says the stores are open for now, but it'll be winding down operations and closing all 650 locations. The chain has 6,800 employees. Sales declined last year at Dress Barn. Ascena also owns Ann Taylor and Loft, but those stores will remain open. Footwear makers are asking President Trump to remove shoes from proposed tariffs on imports from China. Nearly 200 brands, including Nike, Reebok, and Under Armour, say tariffs will result in customers paying more. Global stocks are higher after the Trump administration decided to allow some companies to continue exporting to Huawei for 90 days. The Dow was down 84 yesterday, the Nasdaq dropped 113, and the S&P was down 19. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Do you want to make your home buying experience smart, simple, and convenient? At Steuben Trust Company, our dedicated team will answer your questions and guide you through the entire process. Our goal is to find the right mortgage solution for you and your family, and to make owning your dream home reality. So stop into any one of our convenient locations or visit SteubenTrust.com to learn more. Steuben Trust Company, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey there, Southern Tier. Dave Ramsey here for our insurance-endorsed local provider, Jeff Ryan of the Ryan Agency. Jeff is one of our ELPs because he's a reliable, trustworthy pro who provides exceptional customer service. He's someone I trust to give you sound insurance advice. Jeff can search through policies from many insurance companies to find one with the best price and coverage. Give Jeff at the Ryan Agency a call today, 607-324-7500.
And we are back. Now, remember Friday I had a story about the Chinese girl, a young girl who was going to live stream eating a live octopus, and the octopus had other ideas, and it wrapped itself around her face, and she gave up. Well, so she's going to try it again. Well, here's another octopus in the news. What's going on here? This was nice divers find a new home for a little octopus living in trash. A little homeless octopus. And this was a coconut octopus, and they were diving in waters off Indonesia. So they found this little teeny tiny little octopus. I mean, it fits in a clear plastic cup about half the size of a red Solo cup. This is a little tiny little plastic cup. And this octopus was living in there, and they thought maybe he needed the new home, or it or she, who knows. He needed the new home. So they got a clamshell. This is all on video. And they got a clamshell and put it next to it, and it didn't like it. So the diver picks up another clamshell and puts it next to this little octopus, and it reaches his little arm out and checks it out and says, nope, that's no good. Then he puts another one next to it, and little octopus reaches his little arm out and says, ah, that's very good. I like that. Perfect fit. So he climbs out of this clear plastic cup and climbs into the clamshell. And then he scoots away about a foot or two So the diver gets another clamshell and puts it on top of the first one, like turns it over. So this little octopus has a new home. And apparently you liked it a lot, and everybody lived happily ever after. So I didn't know that an octopus came that small. I mean, this thing fits a tiny little plastic cup called a coconut octopus. See, you learn something every day. A day that goes by and you don't learn something has been a totally wasted day. So there we go. Okay, fine. I guess I will see you tomorrow morning at 8:05. Bye.